Let's keep moving. It's that side we just mentioned in the last podcast. It is the West Tigers. They're taking on the Melbourne Storm. And I don't know if it's just they feel sorry for this Tigers side, but if I look at years past, they've been able to face Penrith with half their players out. They now get to face Melbourne with their players out. You know what? They might as well just give them the bye every game. But I still think this is going to be quite an interesting contest. And strangely enough, Storm still coming to this game very, very heavy favourites now.
Yeah, they're only losing. They've only lost 3 players due to Origin.
Only. But let's just look at the stats for a second here. You've got the Tigers with the 16th worst attack. Yes, 16th.
Yes.
My boys, they are ahead of my boys at the moment. I think it was by a good 30 or so points. They have the 9th best ranked defense.
Okay, so, that's impressive. Oh, well, given that they scored 66 points on the Cowboys and only conceded 6, I think that sort of helped them to go to 9th best defense. So, if we can help the Tigers out in any way possible, that's how I'm putting that loss down too. But
sure, I mean, I'll let you go with that one if you just want to say you got the hands down at their home ground.
No. Look, it was Leichhardt, mate. It was Leichhardt, Lukey Brooks, 200. We let him, have his chocolates on the night. It's okay.
Right. You want to talk about this team, Baxter, or are you going to throw?
We'll talk about it. We got Dream Buller. I reckon I'm going to call it early rookie of the season. David Nofaluma, Brent Naden, AK, Junior Tupper, Stafford Katoa, Brendan Wakeham, Fununa Paul, Jake Simpson, David Clemmer, Isaiah Papali'i, Sean Bloor, John Bateman, Talon Dal Silva, Tommy Talau, Alex Twall, Alex Stay Firth, Will Smith, not the actor, Justin M. A. James, Brandon Mansfield, and Tristan Riley. Now, as the past 2 weeks, they were unlucky to get the win against Canberra down at Campbelltown. I thought they were unlucky with that penalty, which was a penalty. I think TikTok has been blowing up, and I've just been baiting Tigers fans, which is funny. So and Dogs fans.
I'll jump in there because it's just coincidental that did just happen. Is you tagged me not so long ago in the one that happened, the original one at Bulldogs versus
2015 Good Friday, South Dogs.
Bulldogs South.
James Graham charges down the kick on Adam Reynolds. Yes, he makes contact with the legs. In this one, yes, he makes contact with the legs. That is the ruling. It's not like, in the attempt of making a field goal, it's just, is the player making the field goal? Yes. Did he make contact with the legs? Yes, it's a pen. I think that rule has been brought into the game only twice. Like, we've only seen it being used twice in the, 28, 29 years that we've been alive. So everybody's up in arms about it, and I'm just like, well, that's the rules. You can't say it's not because it is. The referee did the right thing. He, allowed play to sort of go on. Bunker got in the ear to say it was a pen. It's a pen. The pen is a 10 out from the goal line. Penalty kick. What more can you ask for? Unfortunate, he wasn't trying to attack the legs and sort, but no one got hurt out of this. But it is what it is, and lucky not to come away with the 2 points. Tigers. Then next week, the week they're just gone. They lose Appy to the broken jaw, which I thought was the start of the downhill of their night. Just been unlucky in the last couple of weeks for the Tigers, and hopefully they can start to build on that and come away with a win on, was it Saturday night? We're at Campbelltown.
This will be
Saturday at Campbelltown.
Yeah, Saturday at Campbelltown. So we'll see how this one goes. Obviously, like you said, this could go both ways. The way I look at it, I would almost say this is somewhere where you've got to go, do we need to rethink the field goal? Now, I know that sounds silly, but does the field goal need to exist? Because what are you really – they say they want the player to dive sideways, but when a player is standing 10 meters behind the plate of ball, you can't – I don't know how I'm like, I look at, obviously I work for basketball. I look at the NBA and they stopped players when they're jumping for a 3-point shot, sticking their foot out. a player kicks a field goal, their momentum's going forward. So you're almost asking them not to even attempt to block it. Don't block it. Let him hit the field goal. Let him go nowhere near it.
You know what? If was Isaiah, I think it was Isaiah Papali who was the penalised player. If he went for a charge down, like I think he would have got away with it, and he wouldn't have made a contact with the leg. So I think it's more so he's gone to ground, like he's gone to the ground to charge it down at the point of impact of the kick, instead of going a bit higher. I reckon he would have got it. Would have a charge down that would have walked away with 2 points.
I reckon this will be the first one. Baxter, red light, green light, getting rid of field goals.
Nah, I love field goals, especially the 2-pointers. I think it's the best thing that they've ever done. Makes the contest a little bit interesting. Like, your team's 18-all, and there's only seconds to go on the clock. You go for a field goal, win it by a point. You're the hometown hero. So I like it.
I'm green light. If you're gonna protect the kickers to the extent we do protect the kickers, I think there's no point even charging down a field goal. Just let them have a free crack, because if you make contact, if they fall into you, if you're sprinting at 100 miles per hour, you're gonna make contact. So it's a tough one, but I think scrap it, get rid of it, or you've gotta be okay with a little bit of contact on the kickers. Now, he doesn't stick his leg forward. It's not a penalty. I agree it's a penalty. I just think it's a very harsh way to lose the game. But Baxter, let's look at their opponents they are taking on. Is the Melbourne Storm. Like we said, they do have a few players out. They have got through this slightly unscathed, I guess you could say, with their backups. But you have Nick Meaney, Will Warbrick, Remus Smith, Marion Seve, George Jennings, Jonah Pizzette, Jerome Hughes, Tua Kamakamika, Bronson Garlic, Big Nelson in the 10, Trent Leore, Tariq Sims, Josh Kinn, Tyron Wishart, Tom Eisenhuth, Alec McDonald, Aaron Penne, Justin Olam, Grant Anderson, Faluga, Chris Lewis, and Kane Bradley on the extended bench. So definitely an interesting lineup. Obviously, there is no Harry Grant. There is no Cameron Munster. Those are the two notable mentions.
Xavier Coates.
What was that?
Xavier Coates on the wing, and
Xavier Coates as well. But again, Xavier Coates has not had his best season, if I'm being completely honest. Yes, he got into the Origin side, but
Christian Welsh as well. He's suspended.
Yeah,
for his hit drop. I don't think it was a hit drop. Really.
No, stop it. He was behind the leg. He put pressure on the back of the leg.
In a black and white rule, was it a hit drop? Yes, but it's not. For me, why I say it shouldn't be, like, he shouldn't get suspended, is it wasn't a textbook hit drop play. I'll agree to you that he's got into the back of the legs, but the way it looks like he's gone around the mid waist, Christian Welsh has already gone. He's already tried to put his weight to the floor, and the leg, he's just ended up on top of the legs, which is, again, I say a textbook, not a textbook, but a black and white hip drop. But it's not. I don't think he was meaning to hip drop the player, and that's why I was like, oh, it shouldn't be suspended, but black and white you are. So I think he's looking at about, from the top of my head, he's looking at maybe 3 weeks, which I think
he took the 1 week. He took the 1 week early guilty plea.
Well, I'm happy with that. Like, it wasn't, as I said, it wasn't textbook hip drop, but a black and white it is. So, again,
well, if you ever wondered how the committee takes care of Queensland players when they get suspended, maybe back.
I told you what the MRC is for. Mal Meninga, Ben Ross, and Cooper Cronk. That's what the MRC stands for. So
obviously, like you said, Baxter, this is probably a Storm side that hasn't been hit as hard as what we've seen in years previous. Obviously, that is due to a few of their big players obviously going to the Dolphins. They're not playing this week, but I think it's absolutely funny that Kaufusi is playing in reserve grade this weekend. He's going to rock up to a game and absolutely crunch someone who's going to go and become a mechanic or a plumber the next day. So it will be interesting, but we are talking here the Storm. We are talking the Tigers. You want me to go first, or you want to go first on this one?
Yeah, you can go first. I'll go first. I'll go next one.
I was going to say Storm 1-12, but I have locked in Melbourne 13+ purely to the fact that Appy Coruscant is out. I think they lose a little bit of direction here. And whether it was a joke or not, I did see something today, and it had that John Bateman will become the captain of this team. He will take the armband this week. And the joke was they're going to have David Clemmer to not David Clemmer. Did David Clemmer? Did he play for the Tigers?
Yes.
They said they're going to have David Clemmer on side to translate everything he says. So that's obviously where they're going at the moment. But Baxter, I've gone Storm 13+. How do you see this game going?
13+ or 1 to 12?
13+.
You are 13+. All right. Well, I already had 13+ down for a Storm win. And then when I thought you said 1 to 12, I thought we could be different yet again. But now I'm going 1 to 12, 13+. Sorry. As you said, Appy being out, I already had 13+ written down in my notepads.
Well, there you go. 13+ both sides back.